I'm sure you're aware of our sponsors, obviously CUEAFS, Terracotta Films, and Third Window Films. What is your position on film companies like that?
Well, I think both of those are terrific companies. I've communicated with Adam Terrell and Joey Leung before, just for research. They're very interesting people to talk to, just about Asian film in general, regardless of their industrial position. What Third Window are doing is great in terms of releasing more offbeat films, films that are representative of independent cinema in Japan, that don't rely on shocks. They're not obvious genre films. What I like most about what they do, aside from the fact that they put out, he puts out great movies, is the packaging of the films, and he really understands, as a fan himself and as someone who works as a buyer, he understands what an audience likes to see and what appeals to a cult audience about a cult movie. It's not always just the movie itself, it's the way the film is presented and the way it's communicated to an audience. And I think Terracotta is moving in the same direction. I couldn't really comment on their commercial prospects. Obviously, the market they're in is now a market that's very DVD driven. They'll obviously be releasing films to cinemas and running them at a loss sometimes in a cinema just to promote a DVD, because that's really where the business actually is. I hope they just concentrate on director-driven projects and picking up movies at an early stage, not getting into the position that some other distributors have got into, where they've bought a film that's already played successfully in a lot of territories and is already widely available on DVD, and a lot of fans may have already imported it or downloaded it. That's where I think Adam Terrell with Third Window is doing very interesting work, in that he communicates with directors and production companies, and he gets involved in there very, very early. Same with Joey and Terracotta. They're not just acting purely as buyers cashing in on a market. They're making it a more organic process.
With Adam Terrell for Third Windows, he's picked up Kikira, Piece of Our Lives, which was kind of like you were saying just then, like from the beginning, and she's a first director.
Yeah.
But also, what's your position on female directors in the Japanese film industry? Like, do you consider it to be more male-dominated?
It's definitely more male-dominated in Japan. The fact that first edition of the Directory of World Cinema Japan doesn't feature many, or if any, films by female directors is proof of that. Just simply didn't have a lot of contributors requesting to write films by female directors. They weren't aware of them. A lot of my contributors are based in the UK, the United States, Canada, and weren't able to get a hold of them. They're not films that are being widely distributed. So they're definitely somewhat dominated in that industry, although there are interesting films coming out, and the Japan Foundation tour of Girls on Film, which is coming up this year, has some films by female directors, and that will hopefully provide more exposure. It's definitely a more male-driven environment, but that is certainly shifting. It will only take one or two of these films to make some significant breakthrough internationally for that to change. Obviously, as I was talking today, there are two markets for Japanese films. There's the domestic box office market, and then there is the export art house world cinema market. They're two very different markets, two very different audiences. And major studios and niche players will be interested in promoting films by female directors should they see some general media and audience interest.
How do you feel your book will be perceived by, like, especially the fanboy cinema experts?
We'll see. I'm slightly nervous about it. Japanese cinema is a cinema that attracts that type of culture more than other national cinemas. For instance, Directory of World Cinema France will surely be debated by scholars of French cinema and French film theory, but that's very different to the type of people who get interested in Japanese films sometimes. I try to undercut that in the editorial stage by looking at a lot of classic Japanese films and not really pandering to that market or catering to that market. We do have a section on J-horror. We do look at alternative Japanese films, but we look at a lot of other different types of films. I think that a fanboy, as you put it, would be better off probably getting a different book. I think they might flick through this one and actually be quite disappointed and just simply decide it's not going to be for them. We're trying to provide a wider introduction to Japanese cinema and acknowledge that those films exist and are appealing, and there's a lot of other films too.
Do you think that just because you're like an English male academic looking at Japanese and Asian cinema, like could be possibly the level of criticism of like Orientalist approach?
Yeah, that certainly does come up, and it's a frustration I actually have when I'm researching, that sometimes you can only go so far with your research. That's why it's important on a project like this. It's important to try and engage contributors who have a lot of different experience, and I had some people write who have Japanese heritage, or are actually might be Westerners, but they're Westerners actually based in Japan, working as journalists there, and have more a sense of what's going on in the general movie, not just the movie-going culture, but just Japanese culture as a whole. Try to reflect that and not have that Orientalist approach. Obviously, every piece of work is going to have some degree of perspective, and that's always going to be unavoidable. But we've tried to undercut that somewhat.
You mentioned earlier that there'll be a wide range of books coming out on the World Directory cinema experience. What should our society and our viewers and people in Germany who are interested in cinema be expecting to come out like after
this one?
Yeah.
Well, they should, if they, in terms of what they think they might actually get from future volumes, the current Japan book is it's the first one in the series, but the template is rather set in stone. So they will see, if they look at this book, they'll see the outline that they would get for the other books in the series, in terms of it presenting essays on genres, essays on directors, and then some A to Z reviews. So they would get a feel for the format. In terms of other territories that are going to be covered, we aim to update every 2 years. So the next Japan book should be out in 2012, which we're working on at the moment. A book on Korea is being prepared at the moment. I think that one would probably come out in 2012. There's a book on China and Hong Kong, which again will probably be out in 2012. Most Asian territories will be covered and represented by one, if not two, editions in the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay, well, thank you for joining CUEAFS and giving us a talk, and we look forward to reading your book.
Thank you.